Okay, this test is I'm testing the active floor. This is one of my biggest breakthroughs in the ArmA series. If anyone's familiar with the title, when AI moves into a structure, once they hit the floor, there is set memory points and pathways that they must take. Along with this, it forces them into a specific speed, a specific path they have to take, and things like that for clearing, and it makes it a really more tough environment. Now, what I'm actually working on here is called an active floor. You can see this little tile area. It's marked as a tile area. It's been laid down in this structure. Now, what this tile area does, this is what I'm calling my active floors. What an active floor does is when you lay it down, any structure that is placed within on the floor or within the floor. A few minutes ago, I just actually sunk this down in the floor. This structure here is twice the height. But any object that's placed on the floor or through it anywhere on this, it becomes an active spot on that floor. And what it does is it gives the AI routes around those areas. You still have all the memory points where if I wanted to spawn AI in here in custom areas and things like that on the active floor, it'll know that these areas have been, there's objects here, so not to spawn the AI in these objects and things like that. But what this does is this gives a floor that the AI can navigate, and they don't have a specific path. They can choose their pathing, as well as they are able to recognize the objects placed on the floor and navigate around those objects to the standard of ArmA. So it would almost be, it's kind of working like the way the AI navigates the terrain and trees, but this is a structure of a house. The walls are not quite finished yet on this little test building I've done. This AI here is only using a part of my code. It's mostly core ArmA AI, which is you're going to see some of the things like when I move into formation, you'll see the typical where they will pass through some structures and things like that when they do formation things. That's normal within those structures. My AI would not pass through these walls and things like that. But what I'm looking for in these tests is to see if they will navigate and if they can tell there's objects within this building, and then as I move these objects around and things, if they notice the new paths, and they can navigate the new paths and things like that, and not really getting them to go to a specific path, just letting them kind of do their thing here, but noticing that are they detecting that there's actually objects there, and are they creating hot routes around those with the new active floor. Here's the testing. So they've noticed there's a doorway there. Okay, there you can see that one push through the wall. That's part of where I've got to fix the geometry loads on the wall. He's definitely noticing, you can see they're moving past, and they're definitely moving around the objects. Definitely this spot. Okay, they definitely could tell some objects. You can see them navigating around the wood and things like that. So we're going to pull, and you can see they're using the doorway as well when they just went in there. This is not my advanced AI. This is ArmA's default AI. My AI will just really run with this. So they could determine that there was a doorway there. You can see they're telling. Okay. Now we're going to do a check. Let's change them up a little bit. When they're running, the animation that allows them to move through the stuff when they're running, that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm actually looking for is when they're in that walk like that, if you're seeing if they're moving around objects. I know when they run, they don't have a collision animation in that sense that they can pass through things. I don't know why ArmA done that, but that's one of the reasons they walk a lot whenever they move into a structure, is because they can pass through things like that. But I've already changed that on my new AI. So here I'm just looking to see if they actually are noticing that these objects are here and they're moving around them. it up and over. Okay, so it's part of the placement. It needs to be, because I just seen him move up and over this lot. Yeah, and I can't move up over it here. So it's part of the placement of it. Okay, let's get this one right. Clearly knows it's there. You can see him actually on. These walls do have solid structure. Okay, let's see here. Too quick, too quick. see if I can do this without taking. Not used to these controls on it, but.
Your fire. Engage that. Spec up.
Is dead. Is dead.
Taking command.
bad, not bad. Good test, good test. Let's do it again.